This channel is for serious footballers who want direction, not just motivation. In here, we build football mindset for young players, career guidance and development, and strategies towards successful career paths into the football development and professional level. I am your guy Al Hazimane, a FIFA certified and England FA certified football professional development coach that is here to have this discussion with young people. If that sounds like you might want to stay for more updates with regards to our videos on different topics on football development. You might want to stay for this video as we will be talking about a very important topic that is related to your career. So why not join us? Let's dive into the topic right away. Thank you very much. A lot of young players are making mistakes that they are not even aware of and they expect to go professional level. I think this is a common mistake that is affecting the young players. So in this video, we'll be looking at top 5 mistakes that destroy young players' career basically. Yeah, among those, the first and foremost thing that really affect the young players is poor discipline. A lot of young players have skills. Yeah, we understand. You can play football. Everybody is amazed by potential that you have. Everybody trusts your abilities because you are very skillful. You have a lot of skills to succeed, and we all believe that you should succeed. But a lot of time, why young players are not succeeding, it's not because they lack opportunities or anything like that, but because they have poor discipline. We talked about discipline in various videos and along the way. It is very, very important to possess a very, very good discipline as a footballer. This is by far affecting a lot of young players to reach out to their goals, thinking that, oh, because I have skills, so I can get there, I can become a professional player. Football is way more than only skills, it's beyond skills. We say talent is not enough. If you actually want to make it to that professional level, you should have talent along with discipline. They should go side by side. Discipline is important because it's the right mindset that you have as a player, how you can coordinate with your fellow players, how you listen to your coaches, you listen to your mentors, you listen to your teammates, and also respect your opponent players. This is what we call discipline. If you are able to have this, it's not only going to help you to excel in football, but it will open a lot more opportunities, a lot more doors for you to becoming a professional player. By far, we see this as a very, very important topic, but it's lacking in the aspect of various young players. They have skills, they don't talk about discipline because they don't care about discipline. They think only skills will get them there. That is a wrong notion. Only that skills cannot get you there. It has to go along with discipline to ensure you become the professional player you want to become. So this is a very important topic. The other thing that also affects young players is bad mentorship. You're always hanging out with people that would not advise you in the right direction. They don't even give you a good mentorship. It is really affecting your playing your career. It's literally going to destroy your career because advice is as important as your skills. You have good skills, but you don't have a good advice. The tendency of you making it to that professional level would be very slim because you lack a very important thing that is essential and very significant part of your game, that is the mentorship. We've seen a lot of players are missing good opportunities because they lack mentorship. Not all the players will be lucky to have a good mentorship, but you should strive by all means, get someone that you trust. We have old players or former players, reach out to them, those that went through the journey, those that can actually help you to get to the right direction and all of that. Utilize their skills, utilize their experience, talk to them if you have issues with regards to your career. I think they are in a very, very good position to actually help you. It's very, very important. We've seen this also destroying players' career over and over again because there is no mentor that can actually guide you to becoming a professional player, by the way. So this is a very, very important topic. This is why we think it's necessary to actually talk about it because it will help you to shape your career in one way or another. The other thing that we also see we could keeping that as a third point is neglecting academies. Academies are like education. You want to be successful in the corporate world, you will have to go to school, go to senior school, graduate from the university, and have your internships. Then companies will take you seriously. The same applies to football. You want to become professional player, you need to know about football. You need to know football, not just play football, but know football. And you can basically know this through academies where they'll teach you a lot of things about football, basics in football, the attitude, the potential of you going higher, the risk of not training regularly, and all of that are taught in the academies. So the more you set up in the academies, the more potential you have of becoming a professional player, because academy is always like school for young players. It helps them, guide them, build them, motivates them, and pave the right career paths for them. So this is very, very important. And we see that a lot of players are missing this part as well. Academies are really important. You are serious about football, why not venture into an academy? That is a formal program for football and football development for young players, basically. In this way, it will help you to go far because you're dealing with the real structures around football globally. You've seen clubs that almost every club now have academies. Why? Because they want to teach their upcoming players that can actually take place of the players that are currently there if they retired from the professional level. That is the essence of getting the academy. But not that they only teach you about football, they teach you a lot of more important things about your own personal life than football. I think that's also very, very important. And it is an aspect that young players neglect so much. So I think it's very, very important that we put it as part of our points that we'll be talking about today with regards to mistakes that young players are making in destroying their career to becoming a professional player. Now, the other points that we'll be looking at is social media. Social media has its advantages and disadvantages. But I think a lot of the time, young players are usually on the side of the disadvantages of the social media. Social media gives you the power to actually become whoever you want to become. It gives you the power to actually learn, see players, see their moves, how they train, basically life of a player. If you see a player, certain player as your role model, for instance, Lamine Yamal at Barcelona, you might want to follow his social media page, see how he trains, see how he rests, how he eats, and all of that he has it on social media. This is by far one of the greatest tools that you have as young players, and it can enable you to succeed also as a young player. But many a times we see players misusing social media, that it becomes a distraction to them instead of helping them to improve their careers. Social media destroy a lot more lives than we can actually mention, basically, especially for young players. You see someone and you aspire to be, it's not easy to actually get to that level if you ask them about the journey, but rather you be looking at the fancy part of it, the big cars and all of that. You think, oh, they get there, they have this big car. I also want to have this big car, not knowing the struggles that they underwent to actually get to where they get to. Instead of focusing on that big car, you should rather focus on their growth and development of becoming a professional player that lead them to getting that car or house in the first place. So I could bring a scenario. When Mikel Obi first went to Chelsea under Jose Mourinho, that was his first professional contract. They paid him a lot of money for the contract, basically. And what does he do? He went on to buy a car. He went on to buy a car the second day. Right. So Mourinho called him. He came with the car at the training ground. Jose Mourinho called him. Who owns this car? He said, "That's me." Jose Mourinho told him to return back the car because it's going to be a distraction to him. That is not something that's good to him, but because people influence him, friends influence him to get to that part. That would have been a very, very messy part of his career if Jose Mourinho had allowed him to use the car. Is still going to be a distraction to him. Then he wouldn't have been successful as we all knew him, the Nicolomi that he eventually turned out to be. So it's really, really important to stay focused. You can use social media in the positive ways to impact your career, to motivate you to becoming a professional player that you want, but not otherwise. If it's not adding any value to you, you might want to stop it all completely or use it once in a while, just to focus on your career to ensure this is the thing that you actually want as a player. This also by far is stopping a lot of young players and bring out some challenges for them to reach to the professional level that they aspire to be. Now, the other point we will be looking at is very, very important. Is the fifth point, and by far is also one of the most important points that young players are missing, and which is leading into them making a big mistake with regards to their career paths and all of that with regards to football. That is planning. Not many people plan. Plan is very, very important. As the saying goes, failure to plan is planning to fail. If you don't plan, you would fail. Basically, that's how it is. There's no sugarcoating about that. You fail to plan, you're basically failing basically. So that is it. Not many players would plan of how they want their careers to be. Part of that planning is regular training at the academies, having a mentor, listening to your coaches, watching football videos, watching your own footages, your own videos after games, after training. See the areas that you need to improve. All these things are part of planning that is preparing you to become that professional player that you actually want to become. But we've seen not that many players who actually get to that part, or they don't even plan. They think I can play football, just need to go train, then we have a game, you go to the game and all that. Football is way more than that. It is very, very important that you plan yourself, you plan how you want your career to be. That is the only way that is actually going to get you there, because it will be like a foundation to what you want the house to go. You cannot have a proper house without foundation. You lay blocks, block 1 2 3 going forward. That is how you plan the house. That's how you want the house to be. And eventually, once the house is done, it becomes very beautiful because you planned it since in the first step, right? You set a very good foundation, then you have very beautiful blocks and things like that. So it becomes a very, very nice house. That is how football is basically. You want to get up there, you see those Lamine Yamals, those Baldes, those Kundes and the like. They plan for that. It doesn't happen overnight. They train hard for that. They plan, for why they actually wanted to get there, and they resist themselves from some things that they actually want. They stop their feelings of getting some things that they want because they are planning to become professional players. All of these things are very, very important and very, very important part of your life and journey as a professional player. You plan things, basically you plan of why you actually want to get there, not just planning on paper, but you should implement those planning on the pitch, on the side, wherever you go as a professional player. This is why they're called professional player, because they are professional in all aspects of the game, both on and off the pitch. You see their interactions with journalists after the game. That is professionalism. How they play, how they respect their teammates. In as much as they lose the game, you see them smiling and sharing jerseys with their opponents. All that is part of the professional mindset. So I think it's very, very, very important as young players to basically have these ideas if you actually want to go forward as a young player. So we will go through the 5 top mistakes that we discussed about in this video. It's very, very important that you have a reflect on these points. I think if you have a pen pencil somewhere, you can make little jottings of this point, because they will help you a lot in your journey as a professional player. So the first point we talked about is poor discipline. A lot of players are lacking in this aspect. They lack discipline, basically, that is hindering their chances of becoming professional players that they wanted to become. The second thing that we discussed about is bad mentorship. Not many people or many players have guidance. So as a result, many players fail along the way because they are not getting the right guidance and the right advices that helps them to actually maintain or becoming that professional player they aspire to be. The third point is neglecting academy. Some players think, oh, because I have skills, I don't need to go through academies, I can do it by myself. Out of 100, it's only 0.09% that actually make it to professional level without a proper academic setting. So it's very, very, very important to get to the academic setting that will shape you to becoming a professional player that you want to become. The fourth point we looked at is social media, which is a big distraction to young players. We have seen how it destroyed the life of many aspiring players who did not ended up making it because they are following some influences on social media that ended up being a bad influence to them and to their football career. So the last and then not the least point is planning. We've seen a lot of players make mistakes and destroy their career literally because they don't have a proper plan towards their football career and all of that. So all of these points I think are very important points that if you implement it in your game, it's really going to help you and by far enhance your chances of becoming that professional player that you actually want to become. I'm happy to share these videos with you. If this sounds like you, if you see yourself in this video, if it motivates you, you might want to do well to subscribe to this channel, as we will bring in more topics on these kind of things with regards to football development for young players. Stay focused, stay motivated. Let's go together and hit that level. Until I see you on my next video, is your guy Alhazi. your career, football development career coach, and motivator with regards to going back to the pitch and reaching out to the professional boulder you actually wanted to. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video.